Hey everyone, good morning and greetings from the Cincinnati Zoo, one of our favorite zoos in the entire country. I go by the legend. That's my wonderful girlfriend Molly. And in this video here, we're going to show you all around one of our favorite zoos, see all the animals, the exhibits, go see Fiona the hippopotamus. I'm excited. Let's kick off the tour of the Cincinnati Zoo here with the African exhibit. Here you can see the zoo's most famous resident, Fiona the hippopotamus, adorably sleeping underneath the water.
Yes.
I love the bubbles. And then you can see Fiona's mom, Bibi, right there in a little hippopotamus cuddle party. The hippopotamus exhibit, very, very nice. I mean, we're gonna have to come back and hopefully see Fiona doing cute stuff and moving around. But the sleeping is pretty adorable. Very, very happy sleeps. And here are the zoo's giraffes. We do have a couple of them there, two small ones that were born last year. I like the little one he's just standing there.
He's just chilling. Theo? I think that one's Theo.
You got this guy eating. You can feed the giraffes for about $4, which is a fun time. And I like exhibits like this where you can see the giraffes sort of like eye to eye. It gives you a different view of how big these guys are. Here you can see the zoo's flamingos. Looks like their pond area is getting cleaned up before they refill it. And they seem to enjoy it as they're eating something off of it. Here you can see the king of the jungle, the African lion. Right up close to the glass, too.
Yeah.
Very, very pretty. And you've also got a female over here posing on the rock.
It's so shocking that both of them are awake.
I know. Lions just mostly sleep all day. I feel like the female's about to go back to sleep. I always like exhibits like this. It's a big African savanna with a watering hole. And you get all sorts of animals in here. Wildebeest, kudu, Thompson's gazelle, saddle-billed stork, ostriches.
Yeah, that ostrich is really close to those ones.
I like the stork. Oh, that ostrich. Oh, yep.
Yeah, he's super close too. Yeah.
Zoom in on that guy over there.
I also like exhibits like that where you have many different viewing locations.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch, like 4 or 5 different ones. And lots of animals. It is nap time for the African painted dogs. They do have a bunch of them too.
And they have a really large exhibit.
They do. With rivers and waterfalls. Here you can see the zoo's meerkats. They got a really nice sized meerkat exhibit as well. These guys they're just neat animals. Look at him digging a hole. The next exhibit up is the jungle trails. The first animal you see is some more gibbons. The next exhibit up, you get to see some very, very colorful macaws. And then there's also some other types of birds in here as well. You've got some smaller birds, and then this guy over here with a really weird face I'll show you in a moment. Look at that guy.
How did they get in there?
Very unique looking bird. Here you can see the orangutan exhibit, including the big guy. In a very peaceful pose right there. Hey, look at him. Beautiful. A couple cool birds in the aviary here. You got a laughing kookaburra. And then these guys are very interesting. The Victoria crowned pigeons. Some animals are very excited.
No, that's the animal or a child.
Here you can see the zoo's bonobos. They have a very, very large enclosure as well. Just a couple of them in here. I think they just came out from their nighttime homes. Whoa, he jumped.
Liam!
Hey! Here you can see a couple of sophakas, which I believe are from Madagascar as well. And they're really cool. Very unique looking animal. Try to get this guy to turn around for us. You see his face there. Oop, and he hopped away. Our next section of the zoo takes us to the Spalding Children's Zoo. So you can see burrowing away there is a bat-eared fox. Probably trying to burrow away from this construction noise. But that is a very cute animal. Here's another one of the zoo's social media superstars. Lucille the binturong. Hard to get a good shot with the glass there, but it is the also a mascot for the University of Cincinnati. And she looks very, very happy. So behind this construction wall is where you would normally get to the Wolf Woods section of the park, which is home to the river otters and some of the wolves. It's closed right now because they're under construction to build a new African penguin exhibit, which I love penguins, so I'm all for that. A little bummed I won't get to see the otter, but always good to see zoos improving.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be a petting zoo without a fair share of goats. I like this trio of goats back here. They're eating hay. The children's zoo is home to some very inquisitive ducks. For a couple of bucks, you could ride the train here at the zoo. You get some views of some of the animals and that kind of thing. Very popular with kids. This next building is Manatee Springs. So the inside of the manatee area is really, really neat. Very well done up in here. You can sort of see there's going to be a glare, so you really can't see it, but there is an alligator right as you come in. An active alligator too, who's swimming towards us. Always cool to see alligators move. A lot of times you see them at zoos, they really don't do a whole lot. But this guy, he swam right over to say hello. Look at his feet too. He's also a pretty decent sized alligator.
Yeah.
Oh, he's diving under the water. Oh, that's cool.
That is really cool. With the bubbles.
Yeah, he's putting on a show for us here. Oh, and bye, buddy. After the alligators, you get to an aquarium section, which if you can see down here, is home to an alligator snapping turtle. Looks like he's probably napping, but these animals are really, really neat. That fish is blocking the view. There he is. You can see like his mouth wide open down there. I had to turn the camera back on because they do have one swimming around. Big alligator snapping turtle. So cool.
That's really, really cool.
And here's the star of the show here in the manatee exhibit, where it is feeding time and they're eating their lettuce. Looks like they have two manatees in here. Very gentle creatures. Neither one's a very large manatee.
No, they're both very small for manatees.
Like not babies, but they're definitely not full grown either.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
they've got
both
tons
females?
of lettuce. Oh,
Look at his little face.
That's just adorable.
That is really cute.
The manatee's so excited to eat their lettuce. Also, they eat very interestingly. The final animal in the building is a Burmese python, who's a very, very large snake. If you've watched my zoo videos before, I'm not the biggest fan of snakes.
These guys can live in our backyard.
We have like a 10-foot by 10-foot courtyard. He'd take up the entire thing.
Yeah,
And I would never leave the house. I would never leave the house.
They're from Florida.
He'd be the new owner of the house. The Amazon guy would be terrified. The next exhibit on the tour is the Gorilla World. There's no sign on these guys. A very interesting animal. A very different type of ape or monkey creature. And I don't know what it is. So if you know, let me know in the comment section below. Pause the comments. It's a colobus monkey. turning the camera on back quick because it just jumped out of the shot. But there's a baby Colobus monkey as well.
The umbrellas.
Oops, he jumped again. There you go. So much smaller than the others. That's probably mom. And here are the gorillas of Gorilla World. Beautiful big male in the back. We've also got a female down here. I will say a little hard to think about the Cincinnati Zoo and the gorillas without, of course, thinking of Harambe. I don't know what he's eating. My gut says it's probably poop. But he seems to be very relaxed while doing so. There are a couple different viewing areas, and this one, especially where this gorilla is, you are very close to the gorilla. Probably a little over 10 feet away.
Yeah, really close.
Like one of the closest I've been to a gorilla without being like in between glass. There is a timeline here of the gorilla program history from 1931 till today. And it does mention, you know, the tragic death of Harambe.
And then they still have Samantha that was born in 1970 here.
Yeah, Samantha is 50 years old, turned 50 years old this year. We are now on the indoor area of the gorilla area, which is beautiful. And they are very, very close. We've got a gorilla right here playing with some of the dirt. And a big, giant male gorilla just hanging out.
Looks really small.
Yeah. And this exhibit I read on that timeline cost him around $13 million. And it's beautiful. And you get to get very close. It is feeding time here. And I had no idea that gorillas ate celery. No idea.
You can't, babe. There's no...
Don't be good. And now I'm gonna go see the hippo.
Oh!
It's not. It's a baby. Hey! You're doing right there.
Going back to his spot.
He's sitting down right in front of me.
Well, look at that. They're all the way up there.
Next exhibit is Cat Canyon. Molly, here's one of your favorite animals at the zoo.
Tigers. They're just so pretty.
This is a Malayan tiger. Not hanging out by the people, but very, very pretty. So I'm not sure why he's in Cat Canyon. This is a Eurasian eagle owl. And it is very large. Maybe the biggest owl I've ever seen.
One down below, you can definitely tell how big it is.
You do have one down below as well, who is not asleep. And once I started talking, he decided to turn his head the other direction.
Yeah. He's like, nope, no camera.
Look at those
Nope.
talons.
He's really pretty though.
Deadly. So for the next exhibit, we went into the Dragons building. And these guys are armadillo lizards.
They're really cool.
They look like figurines.
Yeah, with all the spikes
Yeah.
and scales.
Check that out. That big tongue there, that's a tree monitor. I had no idea that he would have a snake-like tongue like that.
No.
Also, look at the size of his feet. I imagine to climb in trees, that's very helpful. The dragon exhibit is pretty neat here. This guy's a Nile monitor.
Giant.
And you finish up the dragon exhibit with, of course, the largest of the dragons, the Komodo dragon.
I'd say the most famous one.
I mean, it's got to be the largest, too.
Yeah, probably. Well, Godzilla is the largest.
The largest real dragon.
How do you know Godzilla's not a real?
I don't want to get into the Godzilla versus Harry Potter dragons debate. Also very relaxed. That is a, I'm not doing a whole lot today pose. Here is Lemur Island. Whoa, that guy's quick. Aw, they are cool. Also, a very, very large exhibit for the lemurs.
You can definitely tell it's older.
It was probably designed for something else, I imagine, but if you're a lemur, it's a really nice size exhibit. Only found one of them in here. I wonder how many they have. Whoa! Got to see them jumping around too. You'd have more flamingos over here, a lot more flamingos, and including some littler ones. The gray ones are the babies or young ones before they get their pink color. Actually, you have different age groups them too, like very young, and I'm guessing those are probably like teenage flamingos. The equivalent of being a teenage flamingo. They're kind of hiding away a little bit, but you can see the zebras hanging out in the shade.
I better check if I have two
With the butt side. Do like his tail though. Very, very metronome-esque. While the Wolfwoods area of the zoo is closed on our visit, you can see them over by the zebras. And they've been running around.
Very active.
Yeah. Aww. He looks very happy. That's a happy wolf. Here you can see the zoo's rhinoceros exhibit. Currently there's no rhinoceroses in here, but it's for a very good reason. So you can see here, they're expecting a baby rhinoceros.
Yeah. Gotta come back.
Over here you can see a white lion. Not a very common animal to find in the zoo. And I believe these lions used to belong to Siegfried and Roy, the magicians. Very stoic and pretty. These large birds here are the Andean condor, and I believe this guy is eating a fish.
You can see the eagle on the other side.
Where? I don't see the eagle.
Right here. You have to step where I was.
Yes, and that is the sea eagle over there. Another very, very cool animal. Look at that beak. This guy, another one of my favorite zoo animals, the red panda.
We can take a picture of it.
So cute, hanging up high in his tree. Little tongue. He looks pretty hot today.
Yeah.
Just to show you like how high up he is too. He's a ways up there. Thankful for the super zoom.
There he is.
With his little smile. Let's go back and see him.
Is it a smile or a panda?
Hey, maybe it's a little of both.
You see him? Push the button.
Aww. Oh, maybe it's nap time. Maybe not.
It's a really cute pose.
It is. His little tongue. His little tongue. The zoo has two different red panda exhibits right next to each other.
Here he comes.
And these guys are, on this one, are much more active.
They're not sleepy.
No. He's climbing in a tree. Oh.
They're so cute.
Pretty close as well. And they're big for red pandas.
There's one close.
Very active, very cool. Climbing around in the trees. One of my favorite animals at the zoo. Is he gonna keep going up? I think he is. You have another just beautiful exhibit here. This is Gibbon Island. Looks like there's two different species of gibbons. And it's like you get to watch them from a boardwalk.
It's a really pretty exhibit. You him swinging.
Mm-hmm. So the gibbons came right over to the viewing area, so I figured to put them back on camera, as they're so close. Here you can see the zoo's okapis, and a smaller okapi too. Not quite a baby, but that is not a full-grown okapi. And it's really interesting. They are at the fence watching the exhibit next to them because they're doing renovations and pouring some concrete for something for the bongos. And they seem very interested in what's going on in that other enclosure. Until now. Now they're gonna move. Look at the little guy. Also, not an animal you normally see like young ones of is the okapi, so this is pretty neat.
It's because they're endangered, aren't they?
Hey, oh yeah. This adorable creature is an Arctic fox. Looks very happy.
Very active too.
Yeah. They are just beautiful. And it's got a great smile. Well, you can't see them all when you come to the zoo, and today looks like the polar bear is not on exhibit. That's a look right there. I believe it's an Andean sun bear, and hanging out in his little pool. Of course, these are the bears that Paddington was designed after. And if you haven't seen those films, they are tremendous. The next exhibit is the world of the insect. So we're now inside the world of the insect, and bugs are probably not my favorite. But it is interesting, most zoos don't have like an insect area.
I feel like you need to find a cool one, like the Chinese mantis.
The Chinese mantis.
Look, the praying mantises are so cool.
I don't see any mantises.
It's all the way in the back, on the log.
Nope. Oh, okay. Now I found it. It's like playing Where's Waldo.
Except you're not good at Where's Waldo.
I might know where it is. The camera likes to focus on something else. Yep, it almost had it. There it is.
Hey, look, different kind of June.
See, this one isn't too scary. This is a Peruvian fire stick bug. Molly, you like this guy?
Yeah, he's really cool. You wouldn't even know he was a... Like, if you saw him outside, I would have no idea he's alive.
Yeah, it's a giant dead leaf mantis. You can see it moving there. Here you can see the giant jumping stick bug.
Also doesn't look real.
Yeah. And then I'm guessing that's a rhinoceros beetle there.
Who would like seeing it?
Now my favorite part about the insect house here is the leaf cutting ants. I'll have to really zoom in for you to see them. But you can see them there, like some of them are picking up leaves and moving them around. But what makes this exhibit really fascinating is that they have a series of tubes to take them from like parts of the exhibit to other parts. It's like the ant superhighway.
Yeah.
And you can see them
bringing the
leaves
into this exhibit.
Like, how neat is that? The next exhibit is the Wings of the World Bird House. The first exhibit you come to in the Wings of the World is the South American Bird Aviary. My favorite bird in here are these guys, the Inca terns, with their little mustache-type whiskers. Oh no! He's flying away from me, but this is the African bird area. Look at the color on this guy. Cool. This exhibits the birds of Australasia. The next area is Southeast Asia, which is home to the rhinoceros hornbill.
He's really pretty.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, the stars of the show here at Wings of the World. The greatest animal in the entire world, the penguin.
Penguins are so cute.
They have a bunch of different types too.
Yeah.
So you got the big guys, the king penguins. You've also got the rockhoppers in here, along with Melagenic penguins. Ooh.
Oh,
Not the biggest penguin area.
No. But they are cool.
Yeah. I love that. Really good looking king penguins as well. Right by the penguins is the puffins, where it's feeding time.
There he is. You got a fish?
Up next, one of the older things here at the zoo, the Reptile House. Here you can see the very classical, old-style looking
Yeah, you can definitely tell this is
Reptile
a
House.
much older building.
In the middle, you do have the Chinese alligator.
It's a cool exhibit for them.
Yeah. So the window's a little fogged up, but this animal is a hellbender, which is kind of like an underwater gecko type creature.
They're really cool.
Yeah, they're big too. Like this guy's probably a good 1.5 feet long. It's feeding time here for the giant Galapagos tortoises. The sure this will be Ken's favorite part of the video. And they do have a nice exhibit. They've got waterfalls and lakes and sprinklers. I like the one guy who's just hanging out, enjoying a good sprinkle. Here you can see the zoo's bald eagles. And what I find interesting, you have one laying down. I wonder if it's nesting. Beautiful too. In the very back of the zoo, they do have like a food court area with food trucks. Looks like burgers, chicken tenders, and then 2 different places for ice cream. And this is something it seems like they're working on, the Mai Tais market. It used to be the 4D movie. So now it looks like it's going to be something else. Hey Molly, what time is it?
Beer 30.
Ding ding. And this is an interesting beer too. I believe it's specifically made for the zoo. It is the Queen Bee, which is a blackberry honey blonde from the folks over at Mount Carmel Brewing Company. Beer's gonna run you about $8 for the fancy beer.
It's good.
Time to go see the elephants. It would appear the elephants just went inside. So we're recording this video on August 12th. On August 17th, the zoo's gonna open a brand new exhibit called Roo Valley. You can see some of the people walking down there. And it's gonna be a kangaroo walkabout exhibit, brand new. It's also gonna be the new home for the little penguins at the zoo. So as you know me, I'm a large fan of penguins. And to miss out on a new penguin exhibit by like 6 days, 5 days, kind of hurts. But great to see, like this was a very older section of the zoo, so great to see the Cincinnati Zoo reinvesting and you know, just continuing to up their game. And now we just have a reason to come back. Right near the front of the zoo is the Hops Beer Garden. Good selection of craft beer. They've also got pretzels and some snacks. You also get merchandise, like you get a Hops beer mug and things like that. We're enjoying a nice Hefeweizen beer. And it's also right by the new Roo Valley section that I mentioned earlier. You can see a big ropes course being built up there, along with the where the kangaroos are going to be. You can see there's still construction, pretty heavy going on. I'm not sure if all of this will open next week, but I mentioned the kangaroo part will. Also, don't see where they're building the little blue penguins area. That makes me sad because those guys are adorable. Do it for our time here at the Cincinnati Zoo. I love the zoo. We were here for about 3.5 hours. They did have a couple exhibits closed for the ongoing global health situation, so we were big fans of the Night Hunters exhibit. Unfortunately, that one was closed. But I mean, this is a zoo that you could easily spend 4 hours at.
Yeah, we spent, what,
3.5? Yeah.
And there's exhibits closed. Animals not on exhibits that we would have gotten.
Yeah, animals we didn't see. Just, I guess not the easiest zoo to navigate when you're going around.
Yes.
But I love it. I would say out of all the zoos in the country, it's probably my second favorite.
It's in the top 5 for me. I like the Memphis one better.
Memphis is good. San Diego is my favorite, in case you were curious, though. But this zoo might be the best value zoo in the country. This was like $14 to get into.
They have a really good collection.
So many animals.
They're always updating it.
Yeah. Now, do you have favorite animals you saw today?
Your favorites?
Yeah, I think we had the same favorites.
Yeah, we had
the red pandas.
The red pandas were super active.
And Lucille the Binturong.
Who was part of Home Safari.
Yes, if you don't follow Cincinnati Zoo on their social media channels, they do a fantastic job with it. They ran the Home Safari series during like quarantine and the zoo closure. That was fantastic. We would look forward to it every day when we were stuck in the house. And then even like their Facebook pages and Twitters and stuff like that, they're always posting wonderful, wonderful animal photos and videos, so be sure to check that out. And thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or comments about the Cincinnati Zoo, let us know in the comment section below. We'll do my best to get back to you. And if you're coming here, I think you're gonna have a good time.